Sagittarius. Something about this love energy feels as though it has reached a point where remaining silent is becoming more painful than finally telling the truth. There is a quiet emotional movement taking place beneath the surface, and although you may not be able to see every part of it yet, someone connected to you appears to have been spending a great deal of time thinking about you, thinking about what exists between you, and especially thinking about how much precious time may already have slipped away. This person seems to be confronting the uncomfortable realization that postponing what their heart has been saying cannot continue forever. Fear may have stopped them before. Uncertainty may have convinced them to wait. They may simply have had no idea how to approach you without exposing emotions they were not prepared to face themselves. Yet the atmosphere around them is beginning to change. The 10-10 energy surrounding this reading carries the feeling of an emotional chapter reaching completion, as though an old pattern has finally exhausted itself and can no longer keep repeating in the same way. There is an awakening within this energy, but that awakening is not only about recognizing what went wrong. It also carries a desire to begin again and to approach this connection differently than before. The strongest message coming through is that they want another beginning with you, and they no longer want to lose more time. They appear to understand that continuing to wait could eventually cost them something they consider deeply meaningful. Communication also feels gentler around this connection now. The confusion may begin to soften. The contradictory signals may become less dominant. There is more willingness to speak honestly from an emotional place rather than hiding behind avoidance. You are being encouraged to move at your own pace and listen carefully to what you genuinely feel, because this person appears to be moving toward the possibility of starting again. The 10-10 energy may be pushing this bond toward truth, emotional repair, and a chapter that feels very different from the one you have already experienced. As we move deeper into this reading, there is something important about the person you are dealing with that needs to be understood. They seem to carry an emotional weight that did not begin with you. There is a feeling that they have spent much of their life seeing themselves as the outsider, the person who somehow stands apart from everyone else, even when surrounded by people. That loneliness may reach all the way back into childhood. They may have grown accustomed to moving through life with the belief that other people rarely understand what is happening beneath their exterior. Their communication style can also contribute to this. They may rely on sarcasm, dry humor, or an unusual way of expressing themselves, and what they intend as an attempt to make something lighter can easily be received by others as emotional distance or coldness. Imagine living for years with a feeling that your intentions repeatedly arrive in other people's minds as something completely different from what you meant. Eventually, that becomes exhausting. You begin to expect misunderstanding before you even open your mouth. You begin protecting yourself before anyone has actually rejected you. This seems to be part of the emotional history this person is carrying. Yet when it comes to you, their heart wants something different. They want you to understand the person underneath those defenses. Something about your connection has awakened feelings they cannot comfortably dismiss anymore, and a part of them wants to finally reveal what has been hidden. At the same time, they worry that you may interpret their slower movement as indifference. They may fear that you will look at their hesitation and decide that they simply do not care enough. What they want you to recognize is that their delay does not necessarily describe the depth of their emotions. Their internal world appears to be undergoing major reconstruction. Old pieces are being removed, difficult issues are being confronted, and they seem to believe they must clear some of that internal disorder before they can create anything stable with you. For those who identify with a twin flame journey, this pattern may already feel familiar. The connection happens, powerful emotions rise, separation follows, and suddenly everything unresolved inside each person becomes impossible to ignore. Distance then becomes the space where those buried wounds demand attention. That is why the message asking you to understand them carries more emotional weight than a simple request for patience. They appear to be preparing themselves to reveal more of their real identity to you. They want to explain what frightened them, what prevented them from moving forward, and what has been obstructing this connection. There is still a meaningful barrier between you, however, and they seem aware that it must be addressed. Much of that obstruction appears tied to patterns inherited from their upbringing. Complicated family relationships may be involved. Beliefs about what their future should look like may also have shaped their decisions. For a long time, they may have been living according to obligations and expectations rather than stopping to ask whether the life they were building actually reflected who they were. That realization is beginning to surface now. When they turn their attention toward you, your energy feels completely different from the environment they've known. You represent emotional air in a place where they have felt unable to breathe. They sense that you can witness the complicated pieces of their life without immediately condemning them, and that is one of the reasons they experience such a powerful sense of safety with you. Even with that safety, there remains something they want to admit, and they seem to be rehearsing that confession internally. They do not know how you will react. That uncertainty makes them hesitate. Still, they also recognize that whatever situation currently surrounds them is not where they want to stay permanently. It may involve employment that has become difficult, an unhealthy atmosphere, or circumstances that simply no longer match the person they're becoming. Whatever form it takes, they see it as something they eventually have to leave behind. Their energy carries the sense of someone telling you that their present reality is not their final destination, and asking for enough time to separate themselves from what has kept them trapped. Beneath all of this uncertainty, their belief in the possibility of the two of you remains alive. They continue to feel the magnetic pull of the connection, and imagining an entire future without you is becoming increasingly difficult for them. They are becoming tired of escaping their own feelings. They're also becoming tired of acting as though their behavior has not affected you. Accountability is beginning to emerge. They are reviewing the past and recognizing the moments when their choices hurt you. Their thoughts are turning toward what would actually be required to repair that damage. They are considering how they could approach you, what they would need to explain, and how they might apologize without turning the apology into another collection of excuses. Yes, they want you to understand why they withdrew or appeared emotionally cold. But somewhere inside them, they are realizing that explanations alone cannot restore trust. Words may clarify the past, but their future behavior has to demonstrate that something has genuinely changed. This is the energy of someone gradually becoming more honest with themselves. They may not have every answer yet. They may still be sorting through the consequences of their previous choices, but they are beginning to understand what must change if they want to meet you at the level this connection requires. For them, this has become an enormous awakening. The energy resembles the hanged man, a person suspended long enough to be forced into seeing everything from an angle they once resisted. That detached identity they used to display, the image of being unaffected and emotionally untouchable, is becoming impossible to maintain. The mask no longer fits the person awakening underneath it. Deep within themselves, they are finally facing the possibility that they walked away from something extraordinarily valuable. They are recognizing that they ignored someone they experience as a soulmate and pushed away what they now believe may have been the greatest relationship to enter their life. Comparison is no longer bringing them relief either. Instead, they are arriving at the realization that other people do not reproduce what they experienced with you. Your vulnerability affected them. Your softness reached a place in them that their defenses could not fully protect. It humbled them in a way they did not expect. From their perspective, there is something almost divinely placed about your presence in their life, as though meeting you was not random. That is why their energy carries such a desperate request for you not to abandon the connection yet. At the same time, the reality of what you have endured with this person cannot be ignored. They have not necessarily made this easy for you. The relationship may have brought enormous stress, emotional upheaval, painful experiences, and repeated moments where simply maintaining your own emotional balance required serious inner work. They may have activated insecurities you thought you had already understood. Their behavior may even have caused you to question whether you were enough. What may not have been visible to you during those moments was how much of that behavior came from projection. They were carrying unresolved emotional material and placing parts of it onto you because they did not know how to hold it themselves. Their fears became assumptions about you. Their insecurity became suspicion toward the love you offered. Somewhere inside them was the question of why someone they considered remarkable would genuinely choose them. Instead of simply receiving your love, they questioned whether it could possibly be real. They wondered whether there had to be some hidden catch because their own sense of worth made your affection difficult for them to trust. Those are some of the internal beliefs they are now being forced to confront. the way you perceive this person has always gone beyond their external identity. You have been able to see their potential, the version of them that could emerge if they became conscious of their patterns and released the layers they used as protection. Your connection was never primarily about their possessions, their career, their social standing, or any other external credential. Those things did not determine what you felt. You were responding to the person underneath the presentation. You could sense what existed behind the mask, and that is precisely why releasing you has become so difficult for them. They are also growing tired of maintaining that mask. Pretending to be content when they are deeply unhappy has become exhausting. Significant personal development appears to be happening now, and as they sit with themselves, the desire to be truly understood by you keeps becoming stronger. You may feel as though you already understand roughly 80% of who they are, while another 20% has remained confusing, hidden, or somehow inconsistent with everything else you sense about them. They seem determined to reveal that missing part. Their energy resembles someone finally lowering themselves in humility, apologizing sincerely, and allowing the emotions they have suppressed to become visible. They cannot continue living comfortably behind distortions and avoidance. In the past, their behavior may have suggested that they did not care or that your importance in their life was limited. Now they are recognizing that remaining frozen in that position carries consequences. They feel a need to move. The Knight of Wands in reverse appearing alongside the Three of Wands adds another layer to this shift. The reckless approach is becoming less appealing to them. They are tired of impulsive behavior, rushing forward without emotional responsibility, or operating primarily from desire and unstable passion. That fast-moving energy is losing its hold. They're beginning to understand your perspective more clearly, and with that understanding comes a different kind of confidence. They are becoming more receptive and more willing to approach you with stability rather than chaos. Pretending that you do not matter is no longer working for them. They also feel that there is a deadline around this connection. Divine timing may exist, but emotionally, this person does not feel as though unlimited time remains available. They sense themselves standing on fragile ground. They are afraid that another delay could become the delay that finally causes you to move forward without them. Whether you currently communicate with each other, or whether their presence has been quiet, inconsistent, or absent, they feel increasing pressure to take action. Something about being with you seems to make the rest of their world temporarily disappear. When someone feels they are beside their true counterpart, outside problems can lose their emotional volume for a moment. Life may still be difficult. Circumstances may still be painful. Yet the presence of the right person can transform how those burdens are experienced. This person seems to recognize that quality in you. Deep inside, they believe you are the person whose presence makes life feel more manageable. They have been waiting while holding onto hope, and they are also aware that you have been waiting for evidence of movement from them. The energy suggests that a major change may be approaching, something capable of surprising you because it does not unfold in the way you expect. It could carry Tower energy. It could resemble a judgment moment. Whatever form it takes, something appears capable of disrupting the existing pattern. This person increasingly understands that the present moment demands action. They cannot remain passive forever. Looking backward, the timing between you was not aligned. The issue was not necessarily an absence of love. They simply had not developed enough emotionally to meet the connection at the level it required. That is part of why reconciliation and making amends now matter so strongly to them. Their awareness is returning again and again to the same conclusion that beneath every distraction, it has always been you. A significant Tower experience may already be unfolding in their personal life. Endings may be occurring around them. Important structures may be changing. Something could be affecting them deeply enough to rearrange the way they understand their own choices. Whatever this event is, its emotional impact is pushing them toward the realization that postponement is no longer sustainable. They cannot continue telling themselves that another day will be a better time to explain. Pride has to be lowered. Vulnerability has to replace avoidance if they genuinely want reconciliation. In a meaningful sense, their decision has already been made internally. They are exhausted by outside interference and distractions. Their focus is moving toward you, yet fear accompanies that focus because they are frightened that they may already be losing you. Whether that fear reflects what you are actually doing is almost secondary. Inside them, the sensation feels real. Anxiety is building around the possibility that if they wait too long, the opportunity will disappear permanently. Once they've finally accepted what they want, the idea of losing you becomes even more unbearable. In the past, commitment itself was something they were not prepared to offer. That limitation was not necessarily exclusive to you. Even if another person was present in their life, they still may not have possessed the emotional readiness required for true commitment. Your connection feels different to them because they understand that being with you would demand complete participation. They cannot approach you halfway and expect the relationship to survive. The energy has changed dramatically. There is also private grief here. When they are alone, this person may cry because the reality of their mistakes is becoming harder to avoid. They understand that they were not prepared to acknowledge what you truly represented to them. They may even have searched for language, concepts, or information that could help them make sense of the connection. At different points, they may have magnified problems that did not need to become so large, creating conflict inside their own mind and feeding unnecessary emotional drama. Now they are sitting with the consequences and recognizing how unhealthy their energy had become. They can see that they were functioning from a lower emotional state and that you did not deserve to receive the consequences of that state. This brings them to the subject of sacrifice. Love is asking them a difficult question about what they are prepared to release in order to move toward what they truly value. The decision hurts because whatever must be surrendered is not necessarily simple to leave behind. Yet they understand that some form of sacrifice is necessary. There is also an important spiritual lesson inside that realization. When something meaningful requires a difficult sacrifice, what is released can eventually return through life in a greater form. The conversations people fear most, the truths they avoid, and the decisions they resist are often exactly what finally creates relief from prolonged suffering. That appears to be where this person is standing now. Something has to be released if they want to move forward. They do not find this easy. Serious obstacles remain. Their progress may look frustrating from the outside because they move forward and then retreat again, almost as though every 2 steps toward change are followed by 1 step backward. Yet even that imperfect movement still means they are traveling in the right direction. They may focus so heavily on each setback that they fail to notice they are no longer standing where they began. Underneath this process is profound loneliness. Sadness is present. Guilt is present. The circumstances around them no longer seem capable of satisfying them. Whatever situation they currently occupy does not feel like a true emotional home anymore. It does not replenish them. They have become exhausted by conflict, exhausted by drama, and exhausted by the tension surrounding their life, because somewhere inside them, they believe they already know which path they are meant to follow. This is someone becoming increasingly aware of their life purpose. They are accepting that you belong somewhere within that path. Moving toward you and repairing what happened between you feels connected, in their mind, to returning to the direction their life was supposed to take. There is also a strong sense of abundance connected with the two of you coming together. That abundance can include financial blessings and a healthier relationship with money, along with a stronger sense of independence. Yet abundance does not have to appear only as physical wealth. It can also be emotional. A person can experience financial pressure and still feel deeply fulfilled when the relationship surrounding them provides enough emotional wholeness that external stress no longer dominates every moment. That is part of what this connection seems to represent. In the past, this person was uncertain and indecisive about whether they truly wanted the relationship. Now their energy is moving toward loyalty. They want to be faithful to you. Another part of their fear comes from their awareness of the attention you receive. The people resonating with this reading are connecting to it because of the vibration they carry. Your energy communicates before you have to explain yourself. There is something noticeable about your presence and your aura, something many people may not encounter often. Your person sees that. They know other possibilities exist around you, and that knowledge intensifies their fear that you could eventually choose a life without them. The important truth is that you are not required to remain trapped in this situation. If you have continued holding space for this person, it is because you love them and because you can see what they could become. You can sense the potential of the relationship and the direction the two of you might be capable of taking together. Yet potential does not remove your ability to choose differently. You do not have to remain waiting forever. At this stage, your energy appears to be watching for this person to bring order to their own life. You are waiting for healthier decisions. You're waiting for them to remove the negativity that prevents the connection from becoming sustainable. The old behavior cannot continue. Being inconsiderate, insisting on always being right, and dismissing what you communicate does not create the foundation the two of you need. This is precisely what they are beginning to understand. The awakening taking place within them is not only the realization that they love you, it is the much more difficult recognition that loving you means changing the behaviors that repeatedly pushed you away. They are beginning to see that you are not simply another option waiting for them to become ready whenever it suited them. In their eyes, you are becoming recognizable as the divine blessing that entered their life, and that realization is forcing them to confront everything within themselves that once prevented them from treating that blessing with the care it deserved. That awareness is where the energy now stands, and it is the point from which the next part of this reading must continue. The chemistry between the two of you is crazy. No matter what you and this person are doing, they enjoy being around you. They enjoy being together with you. This is somebody. I'm telling you. They want to see you. They want to feel you. They want to touch you. This is somebody that is tired of being alone. They're tired of going to bed and wishing you were next to them. This is somebody, in my opinion, that's not getting a lot of sleep because they're overthinking. They're over-fixating, asking themselves how they could be so stubborn, how they could be so stupid, how they could be so heartless. That's what this person is asking themselves. How did I do this? Now they want to come in and make this sincere love offer, this expression, give you a romantic gift. I want to walk into the sunset with you. Your person has made the decision. They want to be with you. You have been their rock this entire time. You've remained consistent during times where everybody else was inconsistent, during times where everybody else was taking from them. You loved them. You supported them. You created a solid foundation that was built on security and stability, emotional security, emotional stability. And that's why you've changed who this person is. That's why they can never go back to the way that things were. That's why this is a new self. This is a change that's lasting. You've triggered this person into a major metamorphosis. Some of you may be seeing a lot of butterflies in general, or birds, hummingbirds, ladybugs. There's something here with your person, and we always talk about metamorphosis, but it's a painful experience. The caterpillar, when they go into the cocoon, they have to physically eat themselves and liquefy. And once they liquefy, they're able to take a new form, but they have to break down who they were. Who they were in the past no longer serves them for their new journey. That's what your person is going through. That's that dark night of the soul. It's painful, it hurts, but you've gone through it already. You've gone through this. And I feel like with your person, they're done emotionally manipulating the situation. The old is dissipating and the new version of them is getting ready to merge. But even when the butterfly breaks out of the cocoon, their wings are still soft. They're still unsure with who they are. So it takes them a little bit to break through. Once they break through that cocoon, guess what? They still can't fly for a couple of days because their wings are wet, so your person is going through this major transformation. They may need a little bit of time. That's why they're over here. And they're like, I want you to understand. I want you to try to understand what's happening, because in the past, this person was scared of this connection. And what they didn't realize is by ignoring this connection, their whole world fell apart. You could either be a blessing or you can be a lesson. It's one or the other. I'm either going to be the best you've ever had, and you're going to regret the action you didn't take, or we're going to go ahead and dominate together. But with this person, they were slow to change. They were stubborn, but now they don't have that ability. Now this person wants to make it up to you. Now this person is very focused on you because you're looking good. They know who you are. They know that you and them may be different, but the differences are pushing you guys together. This is somebody in the past that refused to change, that was inflexible, very childlike, maybe hyper-focused on their work, but it's different. It's like everything that this person held on to is breaking apart. That's their tower moment. I would not be surprised if in the tarot we do not see the tower come out. The tower, judgment. The world Your person is going through temperance, major transformation, because they want to marry you. I want to marry you one day, and this person in the past, the reason that they kept you at arm's distance away, arm's length, is because they were scared to get hurt again. And for some of them, they settled for the wrong person. That's why they feel like this failure. Because everything that they built outside of you is falling apart. Because you're meant to build together. You're meant to grow together. You're meant to grow together. This is the next phase of this person's life. They are confessing, my whole world is falling apart. I feel like a failure. I want you to try and understand me. They're going through something right now. You guys are healers. You guys are a part of the 1%. You are different than how other people see things. You don't see things as black and white. You see things in color. You understand the macro perspective, the higher perspective of what's going on. And this person is working through it. There's not a day that this person goes to bed that they don't think about you because you are theirs and only theirs. You have a very healing type of energy. They are admitting you heal me. For some of you, your person is trying to make more money in order to impress you. Does money matter? No. None of that matters in the grand scheme of things. Money doesn't matter. You can have nothing and be happy, or you can have money and be miserable. That doesn't define happiness. But your energy, even though their world is falling apart, your energy is coming in and it's healing them, and your person is thankful. Even if you are not speaking on the phone, they are hearing your messages telepathically. They are listening to you. They hear it. Your energy consumes them. And they're thankful that they have you in their life, because without you, I don't know what they would want. I don't know what they would do because nothing is making sense. Think about it. Do you guys remember the last time or the first time you guys went through your major dark night of the soul energy and you had to try to understand what the heck was going on? Like, remember how painful it was, where you were kind of in an energy of like, what is this? I don't know how to move. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to be. That's where this person is. What messages do you have for the collective? Can you show me, please? The Tower. What did I say? I told you guys this Tower was going to come out because, again, this person being scared of the connection that's dissipating. This person is tired of being alone. They're tired of dealing with this alone. This is somebody that has a big ego. This is somebody that realizes, like, doing everything alone isn't the way that it's meant to be. That's why there's two people. That's why it's the power of two. That's the significance of having a partner. Having a partner is key, even to bounce ideas off of. If you're not feeling well, your other person, you're supposed to tag them in, and they're supposed to come in and assist. Your person is going through a major Tower moment. Everything in their life is changing. That's why they want you to be patient, but at the same point in time, that's why they're scared that they're losing you. What's causing this Tower moment for their person? Can you show me the sun illumination? This person is acknowledging what makes me happy. Does the collective make me happy? If I'm going through hell in a handbasket, if I'm over here ready to take a long walk off a short pier, this person is saying, but why am I okay? I mean, why do I keep thinking about the collective? And the idea of the collective makes me happy. It's because they're meant to change. Look at this major arcana. This is huge change. It's destined. It's this person. What's causing the Tower moment? Your person having a higher vibrational perspective. That's the sun. Your person acknowledging their own self-love. This is this person realizing that you're inspiring them to change. You're inspiring them to change the way that they go about things, because their destiny is changing. What is the significance of this Tower moment for their person? The Magician. They've manifested. You've assisted in this connection. If there was black magic being done, size, that's breaking down. Want to know why? Because the higher you elevate, the higher and higher you elevate that negative energy, that low vibrational energy, it can't even touch you. You want to know why? Because you're highly elevated. This person is beginning to solve their own problems. They're fixing certain situations. They're realizing and recognizing that they have the tools, because your person, I'm telling you, they're going through some major awakening with this Emperor energy. Whether you're the divine masculine or you're the divine feminine, your person is taking control of their life. They're no longer allowing other people to control it. They're no longer allowing low vibrational energy. The emperor is the emperor for a reason. The reason the emperor is not a king is because the emperor learns from their mistakes. The emperor has a sense of foresight. The emperor has a leader. The emperor is getting ready to conquer this tower, to conquer this negativity that's coming in here. And they're having a sense of wise counsel. They're making this decision. What decision is this emperor making? The Fool. Look, 6 cards in all are major arcana. Please, you know this if you know tarot, and it's okay if you don't know tarot, but when you have all major arcana come out, this is something you don't have control over. This is something where it is changing. Change is here. It's this person's destiny. This person is getting ready to embark on a new journey with you. They're going to be taking this risk. It is a leap of faith. But this person knows that you make them happy. You're their wish fulfillment. This person knows you fulfilled them, but they had to turn their back. They had to walk away on what wasn't fulfilling them. If substances, if taboos, if these things were not making them happy and they were supplementing with low vibrational things, with bad habits, with bad people, whatever it may be, and they were never happy, this person is finally saying, it doesn't serve me anymore. I don't feel fulfilled emotionally. So, they're turning their back to that. By turning their back, they're getting what they want. Look at this Jupiter energy. A lot of positivity, the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, the 9. I mean, like, come on. This is something this person has stalled for a period of time. The Lovers is here. You know what's happening? Your person is finally accepting the fact that they're deeply in love with you. That's what it is. They're finally in a place where they've accepted the fact that you hold their heart in your hands, that you inspire them, that you ignite their flame. You're like the lighter fluid, like you enhance it. There's something about you where you enhance their energy, and I feel like with this person they're tired of being alone, and this person loves you. You and this person may be best friends. This is 100% a twin flame or a soulmate connection. You can't deny that. The Lovers and the Two of Cups union is coming, but your person is planning it. They're planning on moving forward with you. They're planning on taking this leap of faith because it's you and them forever. And they want harmony. They're accepting this partnership. They're accepting being in love. They're ready for this major reconciliation because they have clarity on this new start. Look at this. Told you the star card was going to come out. Look at all of these aces. They have the enlightenment. They see the truth. They know what's going on. They've received the clarity they needed with the sun energy. They can no longer deny what the universe or God has shown them. It's like there's no turning away from it now. And now they're in this place where, you've sparked something inside of them, a creative spark, a new inspiration. It's like they're feeling this new opportunity opening up between you two, you and them. You're both getting ready to turn over a brand new leaf. It's like this new chapter is about to begin, and honestly, this person is always watching you. I feel like, they can't help it, watching you, studying you. Somehow it makes them happy. I know it sounds kind of strange, but, there's something about it that brings them peace. But if your person is coming through as the Emperor energy, whether they're a man or a woman, they really need to feel in control. That's how they feel safe. But the tower is here, and they've had to surrender. They've been forced to let go, to stop trying to control everything. But right after the tower, we have the star. See, here's the thing. Despite everything this person has been through, you still make them happy. The star represents hope, healing, and guidance. After they've been hit with that tower energy, after everything's fallen apart, after they've been through that storm where they've felt lost, broken, and unsure of where to go, your energy is the lighthouse. It's the guiding light in the dark. Your energy is so healing for them. It's like you've given them hope again, and they're realizing that you're the one they've been praying for. You're the wish they've made, and now they're seeing that wish come true. For some of them, this is like a second chance. For others, they're realizing they have to make something real, something solid with you. With the King of Pentacles energy coming through, it's clear that this person wants to offer you something grounded, something stable. They're ready to come forward and offer you something that is secure, something that shows they're serious about you. They're done with the past, done with the karmic cycles, and they want to start fresh, ready to end whatever was holding them back. They're ready to step into this new chapter with you, to build something lasting. All right. I think that's everything for this reading. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope these messages resonated with you and gave you something meaningful to take away. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.